To a German panzer crew in 1944, it was a terrifying ghost. It moved with the speed of a race car, faster than any tracked vehicle they had ever seen. It would appear on a flank, fire a single lethal shot, and then vanish before their heavy turret could even turn to face it. It wasn't a tank. It was a hunter. It was America's M18 gun motor carriage, the Hellcat. And with the highest kill-to-loss ratio of any American armored fighting vehicle of the war, this lightweight speed demon was, pound for pound, a German tanker's worst nightmare. In a war dominated by increasingly heavy and thickly armored tanks, the M18 Hellcat was a complete paradox. It had armor so thin it could be pierced by heavy machine guns. Its turret was completely open to the sky, and yet it became the most effective American tank destroyer of World War II. This is the story of a weapon built for a radical idea. We'll explore the unique American doctrine that birthed it, the revolutionary design that made it the fastest vehicle on the battlefield, and the shoot-and-scoot tactics that made this 18-ton hot rod a verifiable nightmare for Germany's most fearsome panzers. To understand the Hellcat, you must first understand the fear of the Blitzkrieg. In 1940, the U.S. Army watched in horror as German armored spearheads sliced through Europe. They concluded that standard anti-tank guns were too slow, and tanks were needed for offensive operations. They needed a new type of unit, a fast, mobile force that could rush to intercept and destroy an enemy armored breakthrough. This was the birth of the Tank Destroyer Command. Their doctrine was simple and aggressive: seek, strike, and destroy. They believed the key to killing tanks was not to build a bigger tank, but to build a better hunter. This hunter needed a powerful gun to strike, and overwhelming speed to seek out the enemy, and, just as importantly, to escape after the kill. For the tank destroyer crews, their speed was their armor. While early American tank destroyers like the M10 were built on the reliable but slower Sherman tank chassis, the Hellcat was a clean-sheet design. It was engineered from the ground up with one thing in mind: speed. The Buick design team, part of General Motors, threw out the rulebook. They started with the lightest possible chassis. Then they fitted it with a powerful 400-horsepower Wright R975 radial engine, the same type of engine used in aircraft like the Texan trainer. They connected this to a revolutionary Torquematic automatic transmission, making it easier to handle at high speeds. Finally, they gave it a Christie-style suspension with large road wheels and minimal track armor to reduce weight. The result was a vehicle that could, according to official U.S. Army tests, reach a top road speed of over 55 miles per hour, making it the fastest armored fighting vehicle of the war, by a huge margin. The Hellcat's main weapon was the 76mm M1A2, the most powerful American anti-tank gun commonly fielded on its armored vehicles. While not as powerful as the later 90mm on the M36 Jackson, it was a highly effective and accurate cannon. With standard ammunition, it could reliably penetrate the side armor of both the Tiger and Panther. And with specialized high-velocity armor-piercing HVAP rounds, as confirmed by ordnance trials, it became a serious threat to the thick frontal armor of the Panther, Germany's most common heavy tank. But this firepower came at a terrifying cost. The Hellcat was a true glass cannon. To achieve its incredible speed, armor was sacrificed everywhere. Its hull armor was just half an inch thick, thin enough to be penetrated by the heavy machine guns on German armored cars. Its turret was completely open-topped, leaving the crew dangerously exposed to artillery, mortars, and even grenades. This was a deliberate trade-off, a complete commitment to the doctrine of speed over protection. In combat, Hellcat crews lived and died by their doctrine. A frontal assault against a German Panther or Tiger was suicide, and they knew it. Their tactic was the shoot and scoot. They would use their incredible speed to gain a flanking position on an advancing enemy, often hiding in a tree line or behind a hill. This tactic was perfected in engagements like the Battle of Aricourt in France, where American tank destroyers, including Hellcats, decimated veteran German Panzer brigades. A Hellcat crew would wait for a Panther to expose its vulnerable side armor, fire one or two well-aimed shots, and then immediately reverse and speed away to a new pre-planned firing position before the enemy could even react. It was a deadly dance of speed and precision, and the Hellcat was the perfect partner. So, how effective was this glass cannon? The numbers are a source of historical debate, but they are undeniably impressive. The U.S. Army's official post-war study credited the M18 with destroying 526 enemy armored vehicles. However, a separate, more detailed study by the Tank Destroyer Association claims the number is closer to 1,200. But the most telling statistic is its kill-to-loss ratio. Combining all sources, historians like Stephen Zaloga have concluded that the M18 Hellcat had the highest kill-to-loss ratio of any American tank or tank destroyer of the war, at approximately 4.6 to 1. For every Hellcat lost in combat, they killed nearly 5 enemy armored vehicles. This is the statistic that made it a nightmare. It proved that in the brutal calculus of war, speed could be more valuable than steel. The M18 Hellcat was a unique and revolutionary weapon. It was a purebred hunter in a world of heavyweight brawlers. It was the perfect physical expression of a uniquely American military doctrine. That speed, agility, and a powerful punch could defeat a heavier, more heavily armored foe. While the tank destroyer concept would eventually be phased out after the war, the legacy of the Hellcat endures. It stands as a testament to the power of specialized design and the audacious belief that sometimes the fastest way to kill a monster is not with a bigger monster, but with a ghost. What do you think? Was the tank destroyer doctrine a brilliant innovation or a flawed concept? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read them all. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for our next battlefield breakdown. Thanks for watching.